And I really wish na natutunan ko to when I first started making websites, which was when I was grade 6, grade 7-ish. No? And for like a couple of years or 3 years, hindi ko talaga na fully understand paano to nangyayari. Ano ba yung static, ano ba yung web, yung dynamic, right? Okay, so today, maybe tonight actually, let's tackle yung pag-host ng isang simple na website, isang simple na static website sa AWS S3 and syempre in Route 53 if you want to route your DNS. So explain ko ng maikli paano nag-work yung website hosting. Okay? So what static website means is hindi siya nag-iiba based on paano ka naka-login or based on the user. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nun, kunyari, I go to my website. This is a static website, for example. No? It doesn't matter kung may account ka or whatever. No? It's basically the same content. No? Basically, the same stuff lang nakukuha mo. The same HTML, the same CSS, the same JavaScript. In comparison, no, if you go to Facebook, if you go to YouTube, go to Twitter, yung content doon nag-iiba based on kung sino ka. Diba? So, kung ako, I would see some memes on my newsfeed, and kung ikaw, hindi ka naman mahilig sa ganun, hindi ka nakakita ng ganun. At the same time, some content management sites like WordPress, dynamic din sila, just to make things easier. So, yung ginagamit kasi ng internet, okay, short explanation lang. If you want a full explanation on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and how the web works, I have a talk with UPChem. I link it over here, no, in the description below. So, let's say we want to access a book, no? Ito yung address niya. Merong Dewey Decimal. Kung gusto nyo talagang gumawa ako ng full video on explaining how these things work, just leave it in the comment section below or join my Discord server also in the description below. And with enough demand, I'll make it. Okay? So, short explanation, okay, going back. Yung ginagamit kasi ng mga browsers natin to communicate with servers is HTTP. Well, more specifically, HTTPS. They're basically the same. HTTPS, mas secure siya, syempre over HTTP, but that's another story. Okay? What we do is, sa HTTP, ikaw, the client, will send a request. No, basically, imagine mo, it's just a piece of paper. Okay? Tapos, nagsusulat ka, penge naman ng web page ng facebook.com or ng carlospaniban.com. Okay? And yung server, magre-reply naman siya, no? Gagawa naman siya ng response doon, no? Magagawa siya ng response doon sa request mo. So, that too is also a piece of paper, and yung piece of paper na yon, andun yung HTML mo, andun yung CSS, andun yung JavaScript, everything, no? And kung may image kang ginagamit, sasama din niya doon. Okay? So, basically, if you think about it, yung HTTP and how the web works, nag-exchange lang tayo ng mga text. Nag-exchange lang tayo ng mga pieces of paper and syempre ng files. No? And dito pumapasok yung difference ng static tsaka ng isang dynamic na website. Kasi yung static na website, you only need to send yung file mismo. Kasi you don't have to process stuff eh. Unlike kung nasa YouTube ka, it has to process yung recommendations mo. It has to process kung ano yung content ng account mo, no? And stuff like that, no? Na it takes computational power, no? So, for example, yung isang static file web server, I don't know if that's the correct term for it. Yung nangyayari lang is makakatanggap siya ng request for a file, no? And then basically, kukunin niya lang yung file and then ibabato niya sa'yo. That's it, no? Tapos na. On the other hand, yung isang quote-unquote dynamic web server, which is yung mga modern frameworks na alam natin, like Django, Laravel, Node, stuff like that, they have to process. No? Kailangan pang ayusin yung mga HTML, yung mga CSS, yung mga JavaScript para sa'yo. No? Kailangan pang ayusin yun. Pag nakatanggap ng papel, kailangan pa nilang ayusin. So, think of it as a library. No? Yung static web server, basically nagbibigay ka ng papel. No? And then yung librarian, kukunin niya yung libro, bibigyan niya sa'yo. That's it. In a quote-unquote dynamic web server, on the other hand, no, magbibigay ka ng piece of paper, no, and the stuff that is needed from you, yung info mo, like for example, your name or kung ano yung fill out mo sa form, stuff like that. And then, yung librarian, magsusulat siya ng libro para sa'yo, like based on programming. Magsusulat siya ng libro, like a fully customized book just for you. Okay? And if you think about it, sino yung mas mahal na i-hire, no? Yung librarian na nagkukuha lang ng libro para sa'yo or yung librarian na nagsusulat pa ng libro para sa'yo? No? And that's the reason why static web hosting is much more cheaper, no? Mas sulit, mas mura yung static web hosting. Okay? So hopefully that explained bakit I prefer using static web hosting for portfolio websites, no, just like mine. And some other event websites then, for example, if you're hosting the UP Fair, no, or you're hosting a school event, you want to make a website, it's much more economical na gumamit ka ng static, no? Mas sulit siya. Okay? And I really wish na natutunan ko to when I first started making websites, which was when I was grade 6, grade 7-ish. No? And for like a couple of years or 3 years, hindi ko talaga na fully understand paano ito nangyayari. Ano ba yung static, ano ba yung web, yung dynamic, right? And ngayon I do fully understand it and I could communicate it well. I hope that you guys get the idea. Okay? So, let's jump into it, no? Ito yung repository ng website ko. It's public. If you want to make your own, right? Use it for educational purposes. Okay lang if it's inspired, no? But, well, okay lang din if you like completely steal it. But I really don't mind. That's on you, right? Alam nila kung kanino galing, okay? I have a folder here. Kinloan ko yung ating repository. And just to show you, right? Just to show you what it looks like. First off, yeah, code. So, ganito siya. Ito yung HTML. I wrote most of this by hand. No, HTML, CSS. Gumamit ako ng Bootstrap, of course. Again, if you want to see me explain HTML, CSS, JavaScript, I have a webinar na na-record ko dati. I think it's okay quality naman for watching with UPChem. I'll link it in the description below. Okay? So this is what it looks like. Hopefully, in your high school or if you're lucky sa elementary, tinuruan kayong mag HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay? And the thing is, with this, it runs on your browser. Kasi yung browser mo yung nag-handle ng load. Okay? So kung bubuksan ko itong index.html dito sa browser ko, yan, see here, it loads it like this. No? Of course, naka-dark mode ako. So, yeah. So of course, some libraries won't run kasi for some reason they won't run. Pero it runs for the most part, no? It's also responsive. Kung bubuksan ko yung DevTools ko, gagawin ko mobile, right? Let's make this an iPhone X, no? So it's also responsive. And yun nga, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, everything is handled by your browser, no? Walang computation na nangyayari sa server and then magiging ganyan yung content mo. Basically, yung browser mo yung nagre-render niyan, no? Siya yung nagbubuhat para dyan. Okay? Which is the reason why bakit mabigat din yung kain sa RAM ng isang browser kasi yun nga, siya nagbubuhat, no? Eto, right? So HTML, gagawin ko neto is wala akong static web server sa bahay and yung ginagamit ko is AWS S3, no, which is cloud storage. And nagdo-double din siya as a static file web server. Okay? And ginagamit ko yun for a long time na. And pakita ko sa inyo. So here, nakalogin ako sa AWS. No? If you can't find the link, I'll send you the link. Ganito yung itsura ng home. Right? And where you want to go is S3. No? So S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. So cloud storage talaga siya. And it's basically parang yung mga folders mo pero nasa cloud. Okay? So as you can see here, meron akong carlospangniban.com and andun yung files ng stuff ko. Okay? So for example, you have a website na gusto mo i-host. So for instance, gawa ko ng website, tutorial, right? tutorial.carlospangniban. So right now, you would see nothing. Okay? Kasi hindi ko sinet up yung website. Wala pa. Yung pag-connect ng isang website tsaka ng cloud storage mo, I'll do that in part 2. So kung alam mo na yung nangyayari dito, feel free to skip to that part. Okay? What you want to do is you make a new bucket, no? Basically, parang kung Google Drive to, basically bago tong folder, no? To put it simply. And gagawa akong bagong bucket and ipapangalan ko dun sa pangalan ng website na gusto ko. Okay, which is this, no? Then copy-paste ko dyan. And I'll remove this and that. Gusto ko ganyan lang. And then anong region siya? This is cheaper for me, so Southeast 1. And ayaw nating i-block lahat, right? Kasi gusto natin makita ng lahat eh, right? So we remove that check, and then just check this. Okay? So kita nyo naman sa warning, turning off block all public access. So use cases such as static website hosting. Okay, so this is good for us. So check natin yan. Bucket versioning, disable ko muna. Tags, no tags, and default encryption, disable muna natin. Okay? So let's click on create bucket and makikreate na yung bucket. Okay? So ito siya, na-create na siya. Okay? So let's open it. And we could go to properties like diretso. And if we scroll down, andito yung static website hosting. Okay? So we could edit this, press enable, host a static website, no? And ito index document, what happens is, kapag kasi pinupuntahan yung URL mo, di ba, papel yun for a file that you want. Okay? So, by default, yung hinahanap doon is index.html, no? That's why yung pangalan ng website ko is index.html. Let's leave this as is, ganyan. And kailangan pala ilagay yung name. So, let's just put those kung ano yung nandun. Right? Index.html, error.html. So, naka-setup na yan. No? What this is going to do is magkaka-URL tayo ng bucket. So, dito sa baba, ito yung bucket website endpoint. No? And then kapag binuksan natin yan, wala pa yan. Okay, 403, forbidden. No? So, wala pa siya. So, what we're gonna do is i-upload natin yung website. Okay? So, upload. No? Gusto ko add files lang. So, first off na gagawin natin is add files. Click ko lang to. And then, I'll choose ito. Open. And then, I'll add the folders, which are these ones. No? May extra stuff pa tayong kailangan gawin kasi by default ito naka-private and gusto natin grant public read, no? Which is the same lang nung kanina. Okay? So, upload na natin, right? So ayan, upload succeeded, and if I click any of these, I should get yung gusto nating resource. Okay? So for example, itong csi.png, may URL siya mismo and then lilitaw siya sa browser ko. Okay, so kung bubuksan ko yan, ayan siya. Okay, this is publicly accessible to everyone. So kung magbubuksan ako incognito mode over here, no, it runs for me. Okay? So we go back here, no, try natin to i-reload and ayan na dapat yung website natin. It works already. So as you can see here, it runs, no, with the Amazon AWS na URL. No? Quick verification lang that it works. Okay? So also, I'll put that in the description if you want to see if it works for you. And kita nyo, pangit yung URL, no? Kung gagawa ako ng portfolio website ko, syempre ayoko na may ganyan. No, that's why people use Linktree or whatever to host their stuff or to put links in their page or whatever. Kasi pangit yung ganyan. So, syempre yung pinaka-wow factor mo dyan is yung domain mo. Okay? And in the next part, I'll show you how to set up your domain and paano i-connect yun to our static na stuff. Okay? So, if you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comment section below or join our Discord server and doon kayo magtanong. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you and see you the next part, right? Hopefully.